breakfast time with Thomas. Yeah.
Save about 500 bucks.
You save about 1,000 plus.
To work out cheaper for me.
4,000.
215, even more.
It's worth for 200 plus. 400 bucks of savings.
Gonna meet up with Thomas and have some discussions with him. Now, how does the car smell? To be honest, I can't smell anything. Okay, what? Anyway, it's good to meet up with a friend in the morning and breakfast and some meaningful discussions. I'm just really glad that certain decisions I made in my life allows me to basically have breakfast at 9 a.m. on a weekday, right? To be honest, if I didn't make the decision to quit my job as a brand director 12 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to, my life would be left with weekends or after work on weekdays, right? I wouldn't be able to watch my kids grow up. I wouldn't be able to pick them up from school or send them to school. And that is also the reason why I always stress to my team members that family comes first. Alright. And it's also the reason why I refuse to have an office. Even back then, when our team grows, and Bing actually suggested to me to why don't we get an office and all that. Because if I were to get an office for the team at Horizon, that would mean working hours. That would also mean early morning jams, toll, parking, fuel. Wow. Really just... that car is like... Anyway. And after work, the team, including myself, we would have to, jam our way back again, fuel, toll, and stress. That's why I forbid or discourage my team members from waking up with an alarm clock, because I believe everybody should have enough sleep, enough rest, and to be able to wake up without using an alarm clock. And I expect my team members to start replying emails and all that at around 10 a.m. Whenever I see emails or text messages at about 8 a.m. or 8:30, I would immediately ask them, why so early? You should sleep. Or if they send me emails at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., they'll get a mouthful from me. I will tell them, you should go to bed. You shouldn't be working at that kind of hour. But of course, our job nature sometimes would require us to like early morning Saturday, we might be doing something, but that's the nature of it. And I believe the balance that I give my team members in controlling their own hours, their time, is actually something they don't mind, because from Monday to Friday they get to live their own life. That means they do not need to apply leave if they need to go and renew their passport. They don't need to apply leave if they had something important to attend to. They manage their own time. Everybody in my team member would not know what each other is doing, but everybody knows what needs to be done. And I give them a very, very high degree of autonomy. In fact, some team members couldn't get used to it at first, like Rachel or HP, they were like, they couldn't get their own footing or tempo when it comes to working. And of course, after joining the team for a couple of months, then they would adjust themselves into knowing that, and it also helps them to think what needs to be done. So I always give very, very top level goals instead of actions, like what needs to be done, what you should do, blah blah blah. But I tell them what we need to achieve. And of course, when they start, there are things that they would send to me to let me have a look, to go through, and then I'll try to align them. And after a while, they know what needs to be done. They can get it done by themselves. And in a way, I think this is the correct way to work. That is, we don't actually go to work, but we are just responsible for something that is within our means or our capabilities or our expertise to accomplish. Everybody has different skill sets. And even though sometimes I would try to groom someone to see whether they can step up beyond what they currently do, and I give them the opportunity to explore, and I totally give my team members the freedom to make mistakes, because making mistakes is always a learning. It is always good for the company that mistakes were allowed to happen, and from there on, experience gets to be retained and became the knowledge pool of the company. And I'm always open for discussions with them to go further if they want to, or if they want to remain that way. Yeah, but yeah, I think this is one of the most grateful decision that I've made in deciding the kind of life I want to live, because the kind of life I want to live is the one that I'm able to spend time with my kids, my wife, my family, and then I figure out how to gel in my work with that, right? Like every day at 5 p.m., whether I'm in the middle of work or whatever, I couldn't figure something out, I'll just stop everything and bring my kids to the pool and play with them at the pool. And I don't just go to the pool and sit on the chair there and play and answer emails and all that and let them play amongst themselves. I just dropped everything and then go with them. If my wife needs me to send her to like the supermarkets or whatever, I think we both learn how to drop things. It's very, very crucial. Just drop it and just leave it there and do what we need to do. Because sometimes you wouldn't know, maybe during lunch or on the way there, as we were talking, we suddenly figured something out. You just wouldn't know when. And it happens more than a few times, right? Sorry, I forgot to Waze the place I need to go. Yeah. Let's see which route. Either PJ route or KL route. KL route then. Yeah. So at least I think that at the very least, I reflect upon my previous jobs, my bosses and all that. I remember some of my bosses, they live their life, and we as workers actually get squeezed, and I do not like that. So I want my team member to be able to have the same kind of freedom like I do, So it becomes just a group of people with different skill sets, different experience level to work together, right? And I actually care for my team members in a way whereby, let's say I know one team member wants to get a car, and that is his sort of dream car, and I encourage him to pursue it. I want to see what decision he made, because I strongly believe everybody must have a goal to want to achieve more in order to push themselves more. That is also something that I do to myself all the time. I make myself uncomfortable in order to kick me in the nuts to try and figure more things out. And when my colleague took the step and really brave and took the step and believed in the future, and then he made the plunge, I gave him a raise immediately that will cover the cost of his car installment, and that is how, and then we both work hard together, right? So I don't just encourage people without figuring out at the back how ends would meet, So in my mind, even though on paper my installment is just my own cars, but in my mind and the things we do together as a company, in my mind is the house, the home installment, car installment, living expenses of all my team members. So that's actually the amount of scope of worry that goes beyond our own means, you know, as a business decision maker. And yeah, so for those of you out there, go explore, go try, you know, really go try. It will always be the best thing that will happen to you if you really put your heart and minds to it, you know. See, the thing is this, let's say there's 10 people who has their own job and their own career. Of course, for most people, they're not happy with their jobs, they're not happy with what they're doing, and it's just 10 people going to work and back from work for the next 10 years, right? Now, what if out of that 10 person, one person suddenly say, I want to do something. Hey guys, I have this idea. Why don't we do a mobile car wash? Since all of us work Monday to Friday, we don't have time to wash our cars, even though sometimes our cars are dirty and we need to pick up a client or what. And on weekends, we go out there and then all the car wash is jammed up, or we need to queue up, long queues. And why don't we do this with a van, you know, putting things in and all that, and then we go out there and wash. And then the next question would be, how do people contact us, you know? Is it by phone call? Blah 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 blah. Oh, let's develop an app. Okay, how much it takes to develop an app? It's certainly going to cost more than preparing the van itself, right? And then everyone got excited and sit down and discuss after work, you know, or phone calls or WhatsApp messages and all that. And then slowly, bit by bit, everything comes into place. Company was registered, bank accounts opened, all the preparations are needed, suppliers gathered, and then boom, start. And at first they have one van, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, and they hire people. That's how businesses are created. At the end of the day, every single business was created because someone took the risk to try and do something about it. They may fail, yes, but before they fail, see, no business would fail suddenly overnight. You may get fired suddenly overnight, but you will not fail a business suddenly overnight. It takes a period of time. And during that period of progression, you take realignment measures, you try and solve problems, and maybe one of your staff scratch a car, or one of the customers accuse your staff of scratching his or her car, and then you start figuring out solutions to these things or prevention of these things from happening. Those are needed. It's only natural. So what I mean is, as a country, as a whole, if you see a lot of our youngsters not actually sitting down and thinking of something, creating something, but instead took the easy path, you know, sit by the side in the park, having drinks, smoking, wasting time, and just lingering there. How can we get people, more people in our country, to actually want to do something, right? That is the difference between a country that is progressing in economy, in GDP, in living standards, than one that is staying stagnant, right? More people needs to be out there creating businesses, creating jobs. You know, it's not just mega corporations. The biggest employment provider of any country are the small businesses, are the SMEs. And people need to understand or know that, or should, you know, we should create something, and then from that process, jobs were created, opportunities were created, right? All 10%, instead of doing business or instead of going to work, could have just stayed home and chill and relax and not do anything and live their life, and very quickly 10 years will pass, 10 years will pass. Yeah. So I do not know whether, I mean, that's an example that we're doing, and I do not know whether it will succeed, but when I think about it, when we think about it, we put down and figure it through, and say it might work because it solves a problem, and opportunities are always created, or money is always being transacted when one person solves another person's problem. That is the mindset we need to have. That's why it saddens me when I see news reports like back in 2008, 2009, the financial crisis in USA. We see a lot of news reports of people standing in the middle of the road holding a placard saying that I'm a university graduate, please give me a job. But little did he know, he himself can create a job, whether he has money or not. Because when you have a goal and then you plan the whole thing, then only you go and find the money to do it. And if you're able to find someone with the money, they would want to hear what are your plans, right? Maybe they have more experience than you do in running a business, and they can give their 2 cents. But every single person at those level knows that every single human being only has 24 hours in a day. They can't do everything themselves. The best part would be they investing in somebody else, and somebody else get the job done, and they share the profits. So don't just stop there and give yourself the reason that oh because I have no money. You know, you don't need money to start a business. You need an idea and a commitment, and then you go and find the money. Yeah. Alright, I'm here. Not sure if Thomas is here because I'm late. Oh my god, it's full. Oh, beautiful Boxster. Oh dear, this place is always full. See, there are so many people who can have breakfast at 9 a.m. Free parking. Yeah. Free parking. And I park there. I can't. Park here then. Corner spot. Best spot. Ooh, that's a nice 6 Series. Grand Coupe. Yeah, sorry for the babbling, but sometimes when my mouth isn't too dry, I'll just talk. Hope you don't. Oh my god, why is that so loud? Gives me the creeps. Alright, okay. There we go. Alright guys, gonna have breakfast with Thomas, but I don't think he's here yet. I can't see his beautiful... Oh! He brought his Beamer! He's here! Alright, that's his BMW. Cheers. So we came here and parked our cars, but Kenny Hills Bakers is closed. Apparently because of COVID. There's a paper there. And I got the surprise of the day. Thomas let me drive his car.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my